Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Whimsy Stamps image called Candlelight. Isn't he cute? This little sentiment here is from the CC Designs Jolly Christmas stamp set. It does not come in the kit. You are going to get this tag blank and you can put whatever little cute sentiment you would like to on that. I will put a link down in the description box to all the supplies I use for the card kit. I'm sorry to say that this one is already sold out, but you can get this image as a digital, so I will put a link to that down in the description box in case you'd like to head over and grab one and color along with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I will make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, so let's color. Alrighty, so we are going to start out by giving our little guy here an outline. For that, we're going to use V20, B00, C00, and the colorless blender. So let's go ahead and start with our V20. And I'm going to do that, just a little bit of a line around the outside of him. I don't want to make it too thick. Just a little bit. And down around our little hat. And we want to work our way all the way around to the other side. And I'm going to skip those little swirls. We'll do those later. Around our little leaves. And let's see, I'm turning them a little bit here. Go around this. Thought I'd try a couple of different colors today and make it a little bit different. You can always do just the regular outline colors if you like. Just thought it would be fun to try something a little bit different today. And go down here. Whoops, I colored him. Don't do that. Like that. Then I'm going to go over that with my B00. So I'm just going to start over here on this side. And I'm going to brush over the top of my V20. And go all the way around. Oops, I forgot to do it on the stick right here. Oh well, we'll just skip that. You can do right there if you would like. It's not a major thing, or I might come back here in a second and add that in. And here's a little bit of stick showing right here, a background between our little bird there. Do that. I'm constantly forgetting things or missing them on the first round through. I know none of you never ever do that. I'm going to go over here. Okay, let me grab my V20 again and do this little stick right here. There we go. And then I'm going to go over that with my B00 real quick. Okay, then we're going to go over with, let's see here, C00. So same thing, I'm going to go over both those colors and make them a little bit wider, while also softening the edges. I'm going to get these swirls this time. and back down to the other side. Then we're going to take our colorless blender and we're going to swipe over that. And this way I can also erase those little mistakes I made by coloring him or the bird or whatever. And I'm just going to go over the entire thing, and I want to make sure to go past where I colored. Right up here, so I colored his tail. Let's just swoosh right over that and erase it. Even though we're going to color him brown, so it's not really going to matter. But I did make the effort of getting rid of it. And back down here. And then right here where I colored him, let me go over that. And then you can let it dry, and if you see some spots you want to shade it or blend a little bit more, you can just go over it again and make it a little bit softer. For the snow down here, I'm going to add a little bit of my C0. Even though I'm going to cover it up with glitter later, and that does come in your kit. This will give it a little bit of shade underneath of all that glitter I'm going to sprinkle on there. Around our cute little candle. Forgot what it's called there for a second. So let's color the snowman next. For that, we're going to use C31000 on a colorless blender, and we're going to start with our C3. So for C3, let's do a little dab up here next to his hat. And I'm going to start right where there's a little crease right here, and I'm going to do just a very small line. I don't want it to be too thick, because I don't want it to be really, really dark. Just a little dab right along that hat line, over to the other side. And then for his body, he's got a little bit of, let's see here, we got his shirt, or his little sleeve, we're going to call that. Let's do a little dab right here underneath of his scarf. That. And maybe a little bit, let's see what we got over here. Let's do a little bit right here in the little crease where his scarf is over here. And then I'm going to do a little bit over here where his snow is touching the little bird. Okay, then I'm going to go with C1. So we're going to go right over the top of that C3, just a little dab. I just want to add a little bit right along the edge. Maybe bring it up here a little bit up to his mitten. And then up here on his face, let's soften this line right here. And I'm going to do a little bit underneath of his nose. Then I'm going to grab C0. And we're going to soften it even more. So let's go right over the edge of our C1. And the C3. I kind of like to dab over both of those. And down here on his face. And then we're going to do C00. So I'm going to go over the last three colors and then extend it out just a little bit more. Then we're going to grab our colorless blender and we're going to soften it even more. So I'm going to go over the last four colors. give it a little bit more brushing there. Now let's add a little bit of color to his sleeves. It looks like he's kind of wearing a shirt with a little mitten here, but I'm assuming that must be his body, even though I called it his shirt. But we're going to use C3-100 and a colorless blender. And I'm going to start with C3. And let's do just a little dab right back here behind his arm. And then for his sleeve, let's do a little bit right here in the crook or the top of his arm there, where it touches the scarf. And then I'm going to do a little bit over here on this arm. Then I'm going to go with C1. And we want to soften that line just a little bit. I'm going to bring this down a little bit further on his arm. And then we want to do C00. And then our colorless blender. So soften all those last three colors. And I got a little bit on my bird right here, so I'm going to swish that off. Even though I'm going to color in brown, we probably won't see that. For his nose, we're going to use YR 27, 16, and 12. And we're going to start with our YR 27. And I'm going to do that right along the bottom. And I'm going to do these little lines. And I'm going to grab YR 16. And we're going to add that. Go over those little lines. And then we want to go over all of that with our YR 12. And I think I'll give it a second coat. So let's grab YR 27 again. And then our YR 16. And YR 12. For the stick, we're going to use E44, 43, and 42. And let's start with our E44. And let's do that up here a little bit underneath of our little bird. And let's bring this down. Under the side. And let's do the bottom of this part. And we're going to go with E43. And then E42. I think I'll give it a second coat, so I'm going to go with E44 again. And then E43. And then our E42. Let's do the birds next. For the body, we're going to use E25, 23, 21. For their belly, we're going to use R05 and O2. And for their beak, we're going to use our YR15 and Y35. So let's start up here on this little guy with our E25. And for that, let's do a little dab on his little tail feathers. And then I'm going to do his back. And then I want to come up from the bottom of his little wing here. And then for his face, I'm going to come up from the bottom. Bring it around here a little bit more. Then we're going to go with E23. And we're going to dab a little dab of that on. And then E21. Then I want to do a second coat, so let's go with E25 again. And then E23. And then our E21. And for his little breast, we're going to use R05. So let's do a little dab of that right along here. And then we're going to add R02. Nothing fancy for that. And then for his beak, we're going to do YR15. I'm going to do a little dab of that over here, and this worked out perfect since I colored a little bit of brown on there. And then our Y35. Then let's hop down here and we'll do this little guy. So again, let's grab our E25. Yeah, we're going to do that, right? On the edge there, and then I'm going to get the bottom of his wing and underneath of his face there a little bit. And then we want to do his tail feathers. So let's go like this. And then for his face, let's do a little bit over here on the side of his beak. And then we're going to brush up from this side. Then we want to add E23. And then our E21. And then we're going to do our second coat, so E25 again. and E23. And then E21. Then for his belly, we do R05. R02. And then for his beak, we'll do YR15 and Y35. Let's do this little bell next. For that, we're going to use Y28, 26, and 21. And we're going to start with our Y28. And I want to do that over here on this side. Let's go. And then I'm going to do Y26. And then our Y21. And I want to do a second coat, so grab Y28. Y26. And Y21. For the flame on the candle, we're going to use YR15 and Y35. We're going to start with our YR15. And let's do a little dab of that here in the center. And then we're going to add Y35. I'm going to give it a second coat, so YR15 again. And then our Y35. Let's go up here and do these leaves next. For that, we're going to use G07, 5, and 12. We're going to start with our G07. And let's do that in the center of each little leaf. Just give it a little swoosh. And then we want to add G05. And then G12. And I like to go over the entire thing with this lightest color. Kind of helps blend the other two colors together a little bit more. Let's do the green on his hat, scarf, and mittens, and his vest next. For that, we're going to use G28, 46, 94, 21, and 43. And we're going to start with our G28. Let's start down here on his mitten. So we're going to do that right down here at the bottom. And for this one, I'm going to use this little line right here. Well, we got to do this little spot right here that's evidently the cuff of his mitten. And I'm going to come down and around like this. Then I want to go with G46. and then G94. And then G21. And lastly, we're going to do G43. All right, so let's do his vest back here. So again, grab G28. And I'm going to do a little dab of that right back here underneath of his scarf. And where his arm is touching. Then I'm going to grab G46. Soften that a little bit. And then G94. G21. And G43. All right, let's see here. Let's do the scarf next. So again, we're going to go with our G28. So let's do this bottom one. And then we're going to do all the little stripes. So how about here? And work our way over this way. And then we're going to add G46. G94. G21. And then over all of those with our G43. Okay, how about these stripes on his hat? So again, start with your G28. And then G46. G94, G21, and then our G43 over the whole, all of that green. I went a little bit out of the lines there, but I'm not going to worry about that because we're going to color his hat red, and or the rest of the stripes red, so it's going to cover all that up. And that leaves us with the top of his hat. So G28. Let's go over here. We want to go around these berries. And I want to go around this side. And then I want to go down right next to where it's got the top here, the stripes. And I think I'll brush this up just a little bit right here. And then I'm going to bring this down and around. And let's go down a little bit. How about right to the stick? And then we're going to add a little bit where it goes into the bell. And then right here where it's dipping in, I'm going to add a little bit. Like that. And then up here at the top, let's give his hat a couple of wrinkles. So right here it looks like it's got a little spot. So let's go like this. And then right here, over here, there's a little bump right here. So let's do the same thing over here. Then we want to add G46. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in this back section. And then we just want to add a little bit more to each of these lines. Let's go right here. And then we want to do a little dab on each of these little wrinkles that I added. And then we want to add G94. Let's see here. Let's do a little dab on this side. Then we want to add G21. I'm going to go ahead and fill this little spot in right here. And then we're going to go over the whole thing with G23. Turn my hat a little bit here. Do a little dab more up here on the top. So for the red on the berries, the scarf, the hat, and his vest, we are going to use N5, R29, 27, 24, and 14. And I'm going to start with my N5. And let's go up here and do these little berries first. So I'm going to do a little dab of my N5 down here in this crease. And the bottom of my berry. And I'm going to add our 29, and I want to go right over the top of that N5 and go just a little bit past. Then we're going to add our 27. Our 24. And then our R14 on the over the whole thing. Kind of like going a little circle around on the whole berry. Okay, now for his little hat down here. Again, let's start with our N5. So we're going to go this, and then let's do a little dab right along the bottom and the top of the hat. And he's got a little wrinkle right here, so let's do that. And then we're going to go with our 29. So again, fill up, go right over the top of that N5. Work our way across. And then our 27. Our 24. And then our R14. Okay, his scarf. Let's go down here. Well, let's do his little vest. He's got a little strip on his vest right here. Let's do first. So let's do N5. R29. R27, I'm going to fill this little section in right there, R24, and then R14. Okay, so now the scarf. So let's go with N5 first. I'm going to start right here on this one. And then let's do this little wrinkle that's right here in the middle of this scarf. A little dab underneath of his nose. And then over here on this one, let's do a little line right next where the scarf touches the other scarf. And work our way across here. Let's do this. And a little dab on top. And we'll work our way over to the other side. And let's see here, let's do that right here, and then right here where it's folded back, I'm going to do a little dab in there. Then we're going to go with our R29. I'm going to color this little section over here in. And we'll work our way over to this side. And over here, then we're going to do R27. Oops, I forgot one. Get that one here just a second here. Okay, so let me grab my R29. I forgot this little section right here. And then R27. And then we're going to add R24. And then R14. Okay, let's add some light around this candle. For that, we're going to use Y21 and Y00. And I'm going to start with my Y21 first. Let's do underneath the candle flame. And then I'm going to do a little bit coming down away from this drip. And then let's do a shadow right here. And then I want to do a little bit on his face, so let's do a little dab of this. And then, of course, we want to do his little belly. And his sleeve, and I'm going to add a little bit to this green, even though I can't see it very good, but we'll add it there just in case. And then we got our stick. And let's do a little bit up here next to our hat. Then I'm going to go with Y00. And we want to soften this out a little bit. So let's go up here and start with his face. So we're just going to flick this away from there a little bit. And down here on the candle. And then over here, let's go like this up here and behind our stick and in here. Give it a little bit of a glow there. And I also need to take my Y21 and add a little bit down here on the grass. Or on the snow, sorry. And then we'll take our Y00 and soften that just a little bit. Even though we're going to put glitter over the top of that, you can still see it just a little bit through the glitter. At least I could see mine through the glitter, so we'll add a little bit down there. So there's our beautiful candlelight image all colored up. Didn't he turn out cute? And then here again is my finished card. So on my finished card we have the image popped up, the little lamppost popped up, and this sentiment here is popped up. And then I of course added a bunch of glitter down here on the bottom. And then I did some, let's see here, what did I do? I don't know. I did my Spigot glitter pen in clear on all these little swirls up here. And then these little dots on his hat, I used the Copic Crinorin, it's K-I-R-A-R-I-N-A, Wink White Pearl Pen to add the dots on the scarf in his hat. And then I used my Spectrum Noir Clear Overlay Glitter Pen to add glitter to the snowflake here. And I suggest you do the glitter on the snowflake before you put it on, because otherwise I of course attached it first, and then I'm like, oh, let's put some glitter on there. And it was really hard not to touch everywhere on the back of the card. So do the glitter first if you want to do that, and then put it on the card. Let it dry, put it on. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.